Hi everyone, this is Ida of Created to Create. Welcome back to my channel. If you're not 18 years or older, this video content is not intended for you. I have some products that I want to share with you that were sent to me by Spellbinders free of charge to create with. Thank you very much, Spellbinders. I'm going to share the products with you guys, and I will put all the links in the description box. Those will be affiliate links, which means that if you were to purchase items with those links, I will make a small commission. So I want to start out with sharing some of the stickers that they sent me. And it's a combination of 3 or 4 new collections. So let's start off with this one. So they sent this beautiful gold and black, they're almost like puffy stickers, I want to say, and they have different sentiments. Look at how pretty that is. Those are very pretty. So this would make a beautiful, elegant Christmas card. So this one is from the Tinsel Time collection. So that's one of them. Those are beautiful. And this one is from the Tinsel Time collection, which is more of a fun font. If you're doing snowmans or anything like that, this would be great with that. And you get the uppercase. They're all uppercase and numbers. For this one, also from the Tinsel Time collection. And then they sent, let's do the stickers first. And then they sent these gold ones, which are from the Winter Wonderland collection. Again, the beautiful font, and they are puffy. And I'm sure that the centers come out of this. So these are all sentiments, which are going to be beautiful in one of those very elegant Christmas cards. So they sent that one. And then this one right here, which is also new, and it is also from the Winter Wonderland collection. This one has the uppercase, and they're puffy stickers as well. And these kind of look like they have some kind of texture on them, versus these look kind of smooth. And these seem to have some kind of texture on them. And you do get the lowercase with these. And then they sent me some polymer clay mix that I can use in shakers, and also I could add other sequins to this to make a very beautiful sequin mix, and we all love those little peppermints. And then from the Santa Lane collection, they sent me these puffy stickers, and these are glitter. These are beautiful, again, for that upscale Christmas card you want to send or gift tag. And you get the uppercase and the lowercase. You get numbers. Very, very nice. We'll see what we can come up with that. And then they sent me the sticker collection to the Santa Lane. And I opened it already, so I can share it with y'all. It's got a bunch of these sentiment stickers. We can always use these in all those colors. I love that green that they're using in this collection. And then you get the one with the alphas and the numbers, but you also have sentiments on these as well. Even a border strip down here. So that's very, very nice. And then you get this one. So you get 4 sheets in this with all the different images on here. You get the, look at these beautiful skates. Lost it for a minute there. And look at the beautiful Christmas tree. So these have gold foiling on them. So you get that one. And then you get this one with all the little houses. Again, some Christmas banners, all the stockings, different sentiments. And I love these down here. These are the shape of a stamp. So I don't want to peel it off because they are stickers, but you can make stamp embellishments with these, or use them to put on your Christmas card envelope. So that would be really nice there. And then they sent me the die cuts, and I opened these up so you could get a look at some of these. And these are also from the Santa Lane collection. and you get 122 pieces, and some of it is gold foiled. Actually, a lot of it has gold foiling on there. So I'll just share some of the pieces with you guys. Look at these beautiful corners. So you get a lot of Christmas flowers in here and different foliage. Look at that. And then you get them in all different sizes. Like these are the bigger pieces that I pulled out, but there's berries, there's pine branches, there are roses, there's poinsettias in here. And you have some that have gold foiling and some without. There's the poinsettia. Here are some of the pine branches in the gold, and you also get them in the green. Here are some berries. So you get a lot to play with in this collection. And then they sent me a gold glitter foliage pack that is from the Celebrate the Season collection. So it's actually different pieces from 4 different collections that they sent. So you get all the glitter foliage here. Look at these. These are beautiful. And this is not that glitter that sheds either. These are not going to shed. You get leaves. You get different types of foliage. Beautiful. And you get a bunch in here. Let me see if it says how many pieces are in here. 24 pieces. So there's 24 pieces of different foliage in here that you can use for your cards, for your tags, any of your Christmas crafts. And I can't wait to get started. Let me gather up some of my materials and we can see, let's see what we can come up with. I hope that y'all follow along with me. I'm back. So I gathered all my materials and you can see part of my stuff here. I kind of just laid all of the die cuts out. That way I could see what I wanted to work with. And I gathered up my materials to make a card. So I'm going to start off with if you're following along with me, I'm going to start off with a 5x7 card base. And I didn't have one pre-done. If you have one pre-done, that's great. You can use that. I didn't have one pre-done. All you have to do is take a sheet, a cardstock, heavyweight cardstock of 8.5 by 11 and cut it down to 7 by 10 inches, and then score down on the long side, score down the middle at 5 inches, and fold it and burnish, of course, the fold. And that will give you a I was looking for my tool. That will give you a card base, 5x7 card base. Did I put it away? Maybe I put it away. Let me find my bone folder. I thought I just had it, but maybe not. So that gives you a oh, there it is. There it is. A 5x7 card base. And to me, I think there's nothing more elegant to me than a crisp white card base. So that's what I'm starting out with. My next layer, I only trimmed it down 1/8 of an inch. So this second layer, pick any, and I pulled out the colors from the die cuts. So that's what I was working with. So I kind of pulled out the reds from the die cut. And this is a foil matte paper. This particular collection does have coordinating paper that goes with it. I just don't happen to have it, so I'm working with what I have in my stash. So I took a red piece of paper and I trimmed it down to 4 7/8 by 6 7/8. So it would give me a 1/8 inch border. And I'm just going to this, I'm going to add some double-sided score tape. I can glue it down, but I feel like I have more control with the score tape than I do by gluing it down. And I'm going to share with you how I do that. But it's a good idea to add glue as well as just the score tape, in my opinion. Because I always feel better when I add glue to something, because I know that the only way you're going to get it off is if you tear it. So when I do my score tape, I peel off part of the backing, the carrier on the tape. I peel off just a small portion, and then I crease it, and I do that to all the pieces that I added to my paper. And that gives me a little tab. So the purpose of pulling the tabs out like this is when you go to glue it down, you have more control of where your frame is going, because if I were to pull all the paper off, it could get stuck and stuck down, and it would be hard to move. But because it has most of the carrier on, I'm able to slide it around. Once I have it where I think is good, and I'm going to do the best that I can, because I normally am leaning over my project to see, but for the purpose of this video, I don't want to put my head in the way of the camera, so I'm just going to eyeball it as best as I can. So after I have it positioned where I think it's works for me, or that it's centered, all I have to do is pick up the tabs and pull them and just give it a nice little burnish. It's not going to move anymore. I'm going to do the same thing all the way around. All I have to do is just get a hold of the little tabs and pull it out. And that looks pretty good to me. Let me get rid of the garbage. And make sure I have it in the correct orientation. I have been known to put things upside down and all that good stuff. So make sure whether you want your card like this or like this. Mine's going to be like this, portrait. So now I'm going to take another piece of white paper, the same that I use for my card base, because I have different weights in white cardstock, and sometimes the shades are even different. So I'm working with the exact same paper that I made my base with. That way the whites are all the same. And this is going to be on top of this. Now, I did emboss it. This is 120 pounds cardstock, but any thicker cardstock, when you emboss it, you're going to get a better result. And I do spray it, mist it with some water before I emboss it in my folder. And it kind of left a crease because the embossing folder is not long enough, and I wanted to do a cable knit, like sweater type of embossing. This is what I had, but I know that Spellbinders has one. I will link that one in the description box. And I also want to add dimensions, so I'm going to go ahead and add some double-sided tape to the back. To the back of my cardstock. And I normally like to have this stuff pre-done, but I didn't. And I'm just going to do just stripes down the sides, the center, and then I'm also going to add some in between, because I want to make sure that my paper doesn't cave in the middle, because it doesn't have any support. So I am going to add that extra layer of tape, and I also like to use foam sheets. So if you have foam sheets, you can do that too. And I forgot that's what I was going to do with this one. That's why I didn't have tape, but that's okay. This will work. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to pull off part of the carrier and fold it back. And that just gives us something to grab from when we go to peel it off, to stick it down permanently when we have it in the position that we want it. And that just makes it easy for us to grab those. Now, even if you have long nails, it's a good thing to have this ready, because like I said, that way you can, the outer one is going to be going towards the outside. So even though this is not embossed in the bottom, I'm actually going to cover that up with my die cuts that I add there. So that's not going to show. Make sure that your paper is in the correct position. Go ahead and line it up. Now my piece that I did for the white one, I wanted to show more of the specialty paper. So instead of taking off 1/8 of an inch, I took off 1/4 of an inch. So that would give me a wider border around my card. I'm going to try and center it as best as I can. I think that looks pretty good. And when I have it, let me double check. No, don't stick down. I'm not ready. When I have it where I want it, then I'm going to hold it down and stick one side down. So I think that looks pretty good right there. I'm going to hold it down with one hand, and I'm just going to pull out this outer carrier so I can stick one side down. What that does, it allows me to lift up this piece and pull the carriers off the remaining pieces of tape. So it makes it easy for me to pick that up. Where's my pokey tool so I can grab this piece? So I'm able to pick it up, and I can pull off all the carriers on the remaining piece. Yeah, I got caught up on the bottom of the previous one. Other than that, it's pretty easy. Lay it down gently, making sure that everything is adhered, and I have a very nice perimeter around, or border around my card. And when you emboss, especially thicker paper, it tends to want to warp. By adding all that foam tape, it keeps it from being warped. So that's one of the things that I do like about it. So now what are we going to put on here? I didn't have any of the dies that go to this collection, and there are some dies. I will link the new arrivals in the description box, so that way you guys can have more to choose from there. But I didn't have any of the dies that go with this, and I decided to make some type of ornament using the die cuts. And I'm going to share with you what that looks like. Here's one that I created. I tend to make ornaments during the holidays, so I thought this was a great idea. So all I did was glue the die cut onto a circle die, and I used the Spellbinders nesting circle dies. And then I had from an earlier release, last year I believe, or maybe the year before, I had this this ornament die. And all I used from here is the bow and the little cap to the top of the ornament. That's the only two pieces I used. And what I did was I glued my circle. I'm going to show you how I did it. I got my die cut, I got a piece of paper, and I grabbed my circle die. And I pretty much positioned it where I thought it would look good. Added my circle. If I needed it to go out more, I could do that. If I didn't want as much in the center, when I got it where I wanted, more or less where I wanted it, I glued it down and I ran that through my machine, and that gave me a circle like this. This is just a smaller one I'm making. So that's what that gave me. Let me move that aside. Or actually it gave me this. Now, I wanted it to look like an ornament, so I added a piece of acetate to mine, and I did glue a little piece of double-sided red liner tape there to hold the acetate down. And before I even added the acetate to the top, I did add some gold stickles because I wanted for it to sparkle a little bit. Now, you can see that tape right now, but when we get done, you won't be able to see that. And I'm going to show you what to do next here, how to create these. I thought I had a little piece up here already, but I guess I threw it away. So all you need is, let me show it to you. All you need is just a little strip of paper like this. And all we're going to do is we're going to glue it to the back of the ornament. So I'm just going to add add glue to the bottom half. I'm going to position it right where my tape is, leaving a little tab sticking out. And that is where the top of the ornament's going to go. So yeah, that looks pretty good. Now I'm going to take the die cut, the top of the ornament die cut, and I'm going to add glue to that little tab right there. And I'm gonna glue this. If I glued it on top, it would look okay. But when you move it to the edge, it looks nicer. It looks like an ornament die. And all it is the circle and the top portion of an ornament. Any ornament die that you have that has the separate cap. Now it really looks like an ornament. So that's all I did to it, using the same color, because if you notice, this white is different from this white. So I wanted to create one that was the same color. Now I'm just going to die cut the little bow. I didn't have that one pre-done. Grab yourself a scrap of whatever paper you're using. All you need is a little scrap, and cut yourself a bow. And it doesn't really take much. All you need is a little strip of paper. I always have my machines to either side of me, so I can always cut. Even though I don't have anything pre-done, I'm able to just run it really quickly because my machines are sitting on either side of me. To cover up that tape, we're going to add the bow there. And you're not going to see that tape anymore. So let's take this out. And all I'm going to do is add just a little dab of glue to the back of the ornament. And I'm going to stick it down on the acetate. And for this, you could use double-sided tape too if you wanted to. But for me, it's just easier to add a dab of glue. I'm going to place it right where I want it, and I'm going to hold it down just for a little bit so it won't move. It takes a little longer to glue onto acetate, but that's all I'm going to do. So there is my ornament, guys. So I want to position this in the middle of my card, and I have a sentiment here from the gold sticker collection, and they do have these insides that you do need to take out, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. I pre-did some of them earlier, and I left a couple in there. Whoops, not sure where that one went. And I just use either a pen or my pokey tool to take them out. So I thought about just putting the sentiment straight like this, but I kind of like it at an angle. So I think I'm going to do that at an angle. To do these, the way you do these to keep them straight, and I'm thinking it will work, I'm just going to grab a piece of washi tape, and I'm going to tape all my letters together. The reason I'm using washi tape is because it will come off. So I'm making it a little bit longer than the word. I'm taping the word happy together on the washi tape, and now I'm going to pull them off the back, and they're all going to stay on that washi tape perfectly lined up where they were on the carrier sheet. And that is my goal, for them to, oops, don't come off, for them to stay lined up exactly the way they were on the carrier sheet. So as you can see, there's the word happy. It's perfectly lined up, and I'm going to add it to my card at an angle. So I want happy up here. That looks pretty good. And now I can press them down and just hold them down while I pull off the washi tape. And your letters are going to be exactly lined up the way they were on the carrier. So we're going to do that again to holidays. I'm actually going to move the stars. I think I'm not going to use the stars just yet. So I'm going to do holidays next. Again, I'm going to use the well, you know what? You don't even need the washi tape for that one, because that one is all one word. So when you take it off, it's all going to come off together. I only needed it for the other because they were all separate words. The only one that has a separate piece is the I, but that is going to be easy enough to put it in the right place. Okay, so there is the word holidays, and I can probably just center it right there. Oh, I like the way that looks right there. I think it's perfect. There's holidays, and now I'm going to take the dot on the I, and I'm going to put it where it goes, right there. And I can do the same thing with the stars. Oh, the center comes out of the stars. Oh, I see, I see. I thought the stars were solid, but you can actually take a pokey tool and you can take out the centers to the star if you want. I'm not going to take them out. I'm going to leave mine. And where do I want one? Nope, I'm not going to use those right now. I think I'm going to put the center back because I like the way it looks. So now we're going to add this piece here. I am going to glue this down flat. Do I want to glue it flat? Nope. I think I'm going to add some dimensional tabs to it. So just take some dimensionals to it, and I'm going to give it a little lift. That way it's not completely flat on the card. And let's set it down. And kind of try and center it. That's what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to center it. And look at how pretty that looks already. And we haven't done much to it, but I am going to add some of the gold foliage that came in the gold foliage that came in the die cut package. So I'm just going to add these here at the bottom. I think they look very, very pretty there at the bottom. And that's pretty much all I'm going to do. And I think they look beautiful. These are not stickers, so you are going to have to add glue. If you wanted to, you could probably add shape to it, but well, let's add a little bit of shape to them. I'm going to add a little bit of shape to them just with, you can do it with a bone folder, you can do it with whatever. Oh yeah, I think that looks nicer. And I'm going to do the same with this one I'm putting on the opposite side. Just curving it, giving it a little shape. And now we're going to stick it down. At about what the middle is, or what I think the middle is, that's where I'm putting that one down. And that kind of helps cover that crease that's on my paper. Oh yes, that's beautiful. I love it. I think I want this to curve down instead of up. I don't want it sticking up too much, just a little bit. Now I could add a little dab of glue like at the tips if I don't want it to move, and I think that's what I'm going to do on either side. That way it doesn't move. So I don't have to glue everything down because some of it is not really touching. So there is my card that I created with the Santa Lane collection and the combination of the stickers that were for the Tinsel Time and Winter Wonderland. I also have another one that I want to share with y'all. It's sitting right here. So this is the first one that I created. For this one I did a black base. Again, the same metallic red. And then the white on top. This one says Deck the Halls. And this one I made 2 ornaments. And I did add some stickles around the borders of the ornament. And then for the rose, I layered it up. I got 2 of the same die cut roses and I layered it up to give it more dimension. I used my bone folder to curve these up to give it a little bit more shape so everything wasn't flat. But all in all, I love the way these 2 cards came out. I hope that this inspires you when you pick up your new collection. I hope that this gives you ideas. I will be back to share another project, but for now, these are going to be it. I will link everything in the description box. Again, those will be affiliate links. Make sure to check them out. There are coordinating papers and dies and other things that go with this collection that you're going to want to pick up. Thanks for watching. I hope everyone is having a great day. Bye.